All right, let's dive into one of the most compelling and, yeah, tragic partnerships in modern anime. We're talking about the story of Hero and Zero Two from Darling in the Franxx. It's a story that really gets you, It's all about finding your purpose, who you are, and finding love in a world that's basically told you that you don't belong. This quote right here, this is the heart of their entire story, the Gion bird. It's this mythical creature with only one wing, and it's the perfect metaphor for our two main characters. From the very beginning, the show tells us, plain and simple, these are two incomplete souls. They literally cannot soar. They can't reach their potential until they find their other half. And this is who they were when they first met. You've got two total outcasts. On one side, there's Hero, the kid who was supposed to be the best, the prodigy, who suddenly lost his gift. And on the other, you have Zero Two, the feared partner killer, this girl everyone sees as a monster. So yeah, both of them are completely grounded, unable to fly alone. This is the story of how they found a way to take to the skies together. Okay, so let's start with Hero's side of things. Before everyone wrote him off as a failure, he was the golden boy, Code 016. He was this promising young pilot who, funny enough, had a pretty unique habit. Back in the day, in the garden, Hero was a big deal. He was a natural leader, the one who gave all the other kids actual names, in a world that just saw them as numbers. But then, something happens when he's 9. An encounter he can't even remember, which leads to a total memory wipe. And after that, it's all downhill. His scores just tank, all that potential seems to vanish. By the time he's 14, he fails the one test that matters, and he's left completely broken, believing there's no place for him anywhere. So that's one half of the coin. Now let's flip it over and look at the other. Because while Hero was falling from grace, another kid, Code 002, was already living in a full-blown nightmare. See, Zero Two isn't like the other kids. Not even close. She wasn't born, she was created. She's a hybrid, part human and part one of those monstrous klaxosaurs. Now this gave her absolutely incredible power, but it also made her a target, an object of fear, something to be experimented on. She was, for all intents and purposes, a weapon shaped like a little girl. Her childhood, it was just suffering. Constant, brutal tests. Total isolation. She was treated like an animal, not a person. Her only escape, the only good thing she had, was this little picture book about a beast and a prince. And that story planted this tiny seed of hope, which grew into one single, all-consuming goal. If she could just kill enough klaxosaurs, maybe she could shut her monster side and finally become human. And this question right here, this is everything to her. It is the engine that drives every single thing she does. She has this hazy, broken memory of a promise she made to someone she called darling. And in her mind, the only way she can ever get back to him is to become fully human. It's a promise that literally haunts her. Okay, so we've got our two broken pieces of the puzzle, right? Two individuals who are just completely lost. So what happens when their worlds don't just meet, but smash right into each other? Let's set the scene. For Hero, he's given up. He can't pilot, and piloting was supposed to be his entire reason for being. So as far as he's concerned, he's dead already, just waiting for his body to catch up. And then you have Zero Two. She has this reckless, almost wild disregard for her own life. She's not afraid of death because, well, she doesn't think she's really living anyway. She's just a tool, a weapon to be used up and thrown away. And then, all at once, chaos just erupts. A klaxosaur attacks, her partner is dead on the spot, and in this moment of pure desperation, she sees Hero. Without a second thought, she yanks him into the cockpit of her Franxx, the Sterlitzia, and calls him her darling. And against all logic, against all odds, these two supposed failures connect, and they fly, and it shocks absolutely everyone. But, and this is a really big but, this was no fairy tale. Flying together came with a price, and it was a steep one, a very, very painful one. There's this infamous rumor that follows Zero Two everywhere she goes. They call her the partner killer. Why? Because no one had ever survived piloting with her more than 3 times. It was basically a death sentence. And Hero? He was determined to be the one to break that curse, even if it cost him everything. And the struggle was just intense. This physical transformation called sorification starts to take hold. For Hero, this means a life-threatening blue tumor grows on his chest with every single ride. For Zero Two, she becomes more feral, more violent, her horns and fangs growing longer. On top of that, these flashes of their forgotten past are bubbling up, causing confusion and mistrust. It gets so bad that she actually strangles him, frantic to find her original darling. The pressure from everyone around them just pushes them further apart until it all culminates in Hiro calling her the one thing she fears most, a monster. But you know how these stories go. Sometimes you have to hit absolute rock bottom before you can find your way back up. And right there, in their darkest moment, the truth finally comes to light. And this is the moment it all comes together. Hiro connects with Zero Two's mind, and the floodgates just open. They remember everything: their first meeting as children, him helping her escape, his promise to become her darling. With their pasts finally clear, they confess their love for each other, and bam! Their Franxx unlocks its true, incredible power. Their fight takes them all the way into deep space to face the ultimate enemy, and in the end, they make the final choice, sacrificing their very existence to save humanity together. But wait, their story doesn't really end there. After they vanish, their souls begin this impossibly long journey back to Earth, and 1,000 years pass. And what we see next is this beautiful, bittersweet conclusion. The world has healed, humanity has recovered, and under a familiar cherry blossom tree, two children, reincarnations of our heroes, find each other once again. With that one line, their epic love story comes full circle. The promise was kept, they found each other again, no matter how long it took, no matter what it took. So in the end, their sacrifice wasn't an ending at all, was it? It was a brand new beginning. It leaves you with this final thought. Can a connection between two people be so strong that it transcends time, death, and even memory itself? Is it possible they were always fated to find their way back to each other again and again?